Hi, I'm Poppy. Until 3 months ago, I thought I had the kind of family other people dream about: close knit, supportive, and honest to a fault. My older brother Marcus and I were especially tight, having been through our parents' messy divorce and our father's subsequent absence. When our grandmother passed away last year, leaving us a substantial inheritance, I didn't think twice about Marcus handling most of the paperwork since he was good with that stuff, and I was finishing my master's degree. Hey, sis. How's the thesis coming along? Marcus asked, dropping by my apartment with coffee one morning. Slowly dying by literature review, I replied, accepting the cup gratefully. Thanks for this. And for handling all that estate stuff. I don't know how you manage it all. Marcus shrugged, sliding into the chair across from me. It's really not that complicated, just a lot of signatures and waiting. Speaking of which, I need you to sign these forms for the trust account. More papers? I laughed, taking the folder he offered. Didn't I sign everything last month? Just some amendments. Bank requirements. You know how it is. His fingers drummed rapidly on the table. They need it by tomorrow. I flipped through the documents, frowning at the dense legal text. What exactly am I signing here? Just standard authorization forms. Marcus reached over and flipped to the last page. Just sign here and here. I've got to run to another meeting in 20. Something in his tone made me pause. You seem nervous. Is everything okay with the estate? Everything's fine, Poppy. Just busy. His phone buzzed and he checked it immediately. Can you just sign these now? I really need to get going. I signed, but the interaction left me uneasy. Marcus had always been patient with my questions before. 3 weeks later, my phone lit up with a text while I was in class. From Richard Harmon, ESQ. Poppy, call me immediately. Important matter regarding your grandmother's estate. I stepped into the hallway, heart pounding as I called my grandmother's lawyer. Poppy, thank you for calling back so quickly, Richard said, his normally measured voice tight with concern. What's wrong? Is there a problem with the inheritance? I'm afraid so. I've been reviewing some discrepancies in the disbursement documentation. When was the last time you checked your trust account? I haven't, actually. Marcus has been handling everything. A heavy silence fell before Richard spoke again. Poppy, I need you to come to my office right away. There are some irregularities with your brother's actions regarding your portion of the inheritance. I've discovered several documents with what appears to be your forged signature transferring most of your assets to accounts in his name. That's impossible, I whispered, my knees suddenly weak. Marcus wouldn't... I have the documents in front of me, Richard interrupted gently. And I've already verified with the bank. Over 80% of your inheritance has been systematically transferred out of your name over the past 10 months. The hallway seemed to tilt around me. How much? Just over $2 million, Poppy. I'm so sorry to be the one to tell you this. Richard's office felt too bright, too stark as he laid out document after document showing Marcus's betrayal in black and white. These signatures, Richard pointed to several pages, are clearly not yours when compared to your actual signature on the original will acceptance. I stared at the forgeries. Close enough to fool a bank teller, but obviously not mine to anyone who knew me. I can't believe he would do this. We've always been so close. Unfortunately, I see this more often than you'd think, Richard said, removing his glasses to rub the bridge of his nose. Family financial betrayal is shockingly common. The question is, what do you want to do about it? What are my options? We can pursue this legally. Fraud, forgery, and theft charges would all apply. Or you could confront him privately first. I shook my head, anger beginning to replace shock. I need to understand more before I face him. Who else might know about this? Richard considered for a moment. His wife, Emma, might. They've made several large purchases recently. A vacation home in Aspen, a boat. And Marcus's assistant, David, notarized several of these documents. I left Richard's office with copies of everything and drove straight to my cousin Ellie's house. She had always been more sister than cousin to me, and I needed someone I could trust completely. He did what? Ellie exploded after I explained the situation. That absolute snake! I always thought he was too perfect to be true. I still can't believe it, I said, spreading the documents across her kitchen table. There must be some explanation. Ellie picked up one of the bank statements, her eyes narrowing. Poppy, look at these dates. This started even before Grandma died. He's been planning this for at least a year. That can't be right, I insisted, reaching for the paper. It is right, she said firmly, pointing to the transactions. And look, these transfers to business investments, they line up perfectly with that ridiculous boat he bought Emma for their anniversary. My phone rang. It was David, Marcus's assistant. I put it on speaker. Poppy? Hey, I heard you visited Richard Harmon today? Ellie and I exchanged glances. News travels fast, I replied neutrally. Look, I don't know exactly what he told you, but I wanted to talk to you directly. His voice wavered. Marcus had me notarize some documents for your grandmother's estate. At the time, he said you'd already signed them and couldn't come in person. And you believed him? He's my boss, Poppy. And your brother. Why wouldn't I believe him? David paused. But last month I overheard him arguing with Emma about a temporary borrowing situation from your inheritance. It didn't sit right with me. Did he specifically mention taking my money? I pressed. Not in those exact words, but... Then you don't actually know anything, do you? I snapped, my patience wearing thin. I know he's been stressed about money despite all these new purchases, David replied. And I know he's meeting with some potential investors tonight at the Capitol Grill to discuss what he called new liquidity. After hanging up, I looked at Ellie. I need to talk to Emma. We found Emma at her yoga studio, just finishing a class. Her face fell when she saw us. Poppy? What a surprise. Is everything okay? No, Emma, everything is not okay, I said, keeping my voice level. We need to talk about Marcus and my inheritance. Emma's perfectly maintained composure cracked slightly. I don't know what you're talking about. The vacation home? The boat? The transfers from my accounts? I stepped closer. You're wearing a 3-carat diamond that wasn't on your finger last month. Marcus handles our finances, she said, glancing around nervously. He told me the business was doing well. What business, Emma? The family money was our inheritance, not a business. He said it was temporary, Emma blurted out, her voice rising. Just until his investments paid off. He promised he'd replace it all before you even needed it. So you knew, Ellie interjected, disgust evident in her voice. Emma's face hardened. You don't understand. Marcus has been under tremendous pressure. Your grandmother always favored you, Poppy. Always. The split wasn't fair to begin with. Wasn't fair? I repeated incredulously. It was a 50-50 split. And what has Marcus done with his half? Invested it, grown it, while you just sat on yours doing nothing but finishing a degree you don't even need. I stepped back, stunned by her venom. Wow, I guess I know where you stand. As we left, Ellie grabbed my arm. We're going to that dinner tonight. And we're bringing Richard. The Capitol Grill buzzed with activity when we arrived. Marcus sat with 3 investors and Emma, all dressed impeccably. Remember the plan, Richard whispered as we approached. Stay calm, stick to facts. Marcus's smile vanished when he spotted us. Poppy? What are you doing here? Hello, brother, I said coolly. Mind if we join you? We have business to discuss? Actually, we're in the middle of an investment meeting, using my money as capital. I slid into an empty chair. The investors exchanged uncomfortable glances. Gentlemen, my sister has an unusual sense of humor. Marcus forced a laugh. Poppy, this isn't the time. I visited Richard today, I continued. He showed me documents with my forged signature. Care to explain? We can discuss family matters privately, Marcus hissed. Why? You've involved these people in my financial business already? I turned to the investors. Did my brother mention the capital he's offering belongs to me? That he forged my signature to steal over $2 million? That's absolutely false, Marcus snapped. Richard placed a folder on the table. I have copies of the original documents here, with bank verification of the transfers. One investor stood abruptly. I think we'll excuse ourselves. No, wait, Marcus pleaded. This is a simple misunderstanding. Is embezzlement a misunderstanding in your business? The man asked coldly before they all departed. Marcus's face twisted with rage. Are you happy now? You've ruined everything. Me? I laughed bitterly. You stole from me, Marcus. I was going to pay it all back, he insisted. The investments were going to pay off big. So you admit you took it, Richard interjected. Marcus focused on me. Poppy, you have to understand. I saw an opportunity that couldn't wait. Then why forge my signature? Why not just ask me? Because you wouldn't have understood. You've always been so cautious, so limited in your thinking. He reached for my hand. I'm sorry if I hurt you. We're family. We can work this out. I pulled away. No, Marcus, we can't. Don't be ridiculous, Emma interjected. Family forgives. Marcus made a mistake. Was it a mistake when you bought that vacation home with my money? Or the boat? Or that ring? Marcus's expression hardened. You've always been Dad's favorite. I deserved that money more than you. That's not for you to decide, Richard said firmly. Stay out of this. Marcus turned back to me. Poppy, please. We can make a repayment plan. The only thing I regret is trusting you, I replied, standing. Marcus grabbed my wrist painfully. You ungrateful little... If you do this, I'll make sure everyone knows what a vindictive person you really are. Let go of me. Now. Or what? His grip tightened. Sir, a security guard approached. Is there a problem here? Yes, I said clearly. This man is assaulting me and has just threatened me. Marcus released my wrist, his face pale. This isn't over, he hissed. Actually, Richard said, I think it is. The fraud case moved swiftly through the courts. After attempting to flee the country, Marcus had been forced to surrender his passport. Emma filed for divorce last week, Ellie whispered as we entered the courtroom. Says she had no idea about his deception. The evidence was irrefutable. The judge ordered full restitution, 5 years probation, and community service. As we left, Marcus approached me. Poppy, can we talk? Just for a minute? I paused, court officers watching nearby. You've gotten what you wanted, he said bitterly. My marriage is over, my career is ruined. Satisfied? This isn't what I wanted, Marcus. This is what you created. I made a mistake, a terrible mistake. His eyes filled with tears. But we're still family. We're all we have left. Can't we repair this? For Mom's sake? For a moment, I remembered the brother who taught me to ride a bike, who held my hand at our father's funeral. Then I remembered the bruises his fingers left on my wrist. No, Marcus. We can't. You can't just throw away 28 years of being siblings, he insisted. Blood is thicker than water. And actions speak louder than words, I countered. You didn't just steal from me. You planned it, executed it over months, lied to my face, and threatened me when caught. That's not a mistake. That's a revelation of character. People change, Poppy. I can make this right. The court has ordered you to make the financial part right, but some things can't be repaid. So that's it? You're cutting me out of your life forever? Yes. His face hardened. You'll regret this. Someday you'll need family. I already regret many things, Marcus. Trusting you. Not checking those documents. But standing up for myself? That's not one of them. 3 months later, I sat with Ellie and David on my new apartment's balcony. Have you heard from him? David asked. He sends an email every few weeks, I admitted. Always the same message. That he's sorry, that he's changing, that we should talk. And, Ellie prompted. And nothing. Some bridges can't be rebuilt once they're burned. I took a sip of wine. Richard says the restitution payments are coming in, though Marcus tried to get the terms modified twice. Classic Marcus, David snorted, always looking for the easier path. What about you? I asked him. Any regrets about testifying? David shook his head. Working for your brother taught me what kind of professional I don't want to be. Ellie raised her glass. 2 lessons learned, even the painful ones. And to choosing your family, I added, rather than just accepting the one you're born with. Later that night, I deleted another unread email from Marcus. Some people say time heals all wounds, that family bonds overcome any betrayal. I wonder, if you've seen someone's true character in their worst moment, is it wisdom or weakness to let them back into your life? What would you do if the person who hurt you most was the one you once trusted most?